Welcome to my channel. You asked me which books I managed to retrieve from my flat. Well, I had one suitcase and 5 minutes of time between two sirens for the shelling, so I had to be very quick to pack some of the books and some of the pencils. But I was quite fortunate that on the day before I left my flat, I planned to film video about my March plans, so I gathered my favorite books on my working table, so they were just at hand, and I managed to pack some of the books and pencils exactly in 5 minutes. So I took 3 books by Teresa Goodrich. I decided to take Country Gardens because I really want to see and to color flowers, and I hope that it will calm me a little bit. Next, I decided to take Country Charm because it's my favorite book by Teresa, and I think that it has biggest variety of subjects. It has spring pictures, summer pictures, it has landscapes, it has interior designs pictures, so that's why I decided that it will go with me. And finally, I took Main Street, probably because it's quite popular among my patrons. I already colored a lot of pictures here, and to color various shops it's interesting, it's never boring, so that was my third choice. Next, I took 2 books by Kerber Razanes. Again, they were just on my table because I planned to film video about my finished February works. I worked in both of these books in February and I planned to use them in March, so of course both Waltz Within Waltz and Fragile World. Now I have them and I intend to color in them just in a couple of days. Next one, Romantic Country, and its second tale because for me it's much more interesting comparing to the first book. I colored one page in it in February. I realized that it's the book where I can color almost each and every page, so it will serve me for a long time, and also it's quite popular among my patrons and viewers of my channel, so I decided that I need this book. I grabbed also my set of Prismacolors, which are my choice for this book, so it will be possible for me to color here. Next, I have Manuel de Bonheur because again it's one of my favorite books. It's always easy for me to color here. I always feel relaxed. All those beautiful designs by Kanoko Yagusa, good paper, again good for coloring with Prismacolor pencils, so of course I had to take it with me. Next book which I took with me is Jasmine Beckett Griffiths. The day before war had started, I started page here and I managed to do part of the background. So of course now I hope to finish it. And you know that I love books by Jasmine Beckett Griffiths. Sometimes I abandon them for several months because sometimes I have to color something easier, but now I think that maybe it's time to indulge myself and to concentrate on Jasmine books. I think that now I got used to her style. I enjoy all her books, her vampires, her angels, her more sinister girls, her sweet angels. So now I took Halloween, which is my favorite book by Jasmine. I took this one because here I have biggest amount of finished pictures. Here I want to start coloring, and I think that it will be definitely one of the books which I will try to start in the next days. Also, I realized that maybe I need to change something. So I took several books which I hadn't started yet. It's like not like new beginning, but maybe to color something new, something unusual in the new books. I hoped that it will be able to like push me a little bit and to help me somehow to color something new. It's strange to explain. When I open my books which I use almost each day at home, it's difficult to start to color them again in new circumstances. But I decided that if I will start to color in the new books, maybe it will be psychologically easier. So I took my books by Hannah Carson. I realized that I abandoned them for a long time. Maybe it's time to return to them. I really hope that Hannah, she will feel better soon. I really hope that this difficult period of time in her life will end soon and she will be healthy and very creative again. I try to follow her Instagram. I was very happy to see her new book and I wish her all the best. So I decided that I also need to color in her books. Next, I took a book by Kolorowanka. I think that I took goddesses because I was very inspired by many very strong Ukrainian women, and during last days they help as they could in many areas. They help to fight, they help to support our warriors, and probably that's why I decided that I also wanted to color some strong women here, and that's why I hope to start coloring in Kolorowanka. It's still untouched, so I don't know how this paper would behave, but I hope that just like in Jade Summer book or other books self-printed on Amazon, I will manage to color it with my Faber-Castell polychromos pencils. With the same reason, to keep my mind more alive with the new books rather than using something old, I took with me this book by Anna Marchinska, which I hadn't started yet, but where we have big variety of different pictures. I hope to be able to color some of them with pencils and some of them with watercolors, because I took with myself one box of rosa watercolors, so it will be easier for me to do the backgrounds. And here they are very calming in some way. I wanted to start it in February. Unfortunately, I didn't have time, so maybe in March finally I will be able to do it. And I tried to select books which are printed on good paper, that to be limited in pencils in art supplies, so it's easy to color on good paper. And of course, I was so happy in February when I got the newest book by Joseph Kattenbank. I wanted to color Wild Winter so much, and of course I wasn't able to resist and to take with me books from mythographic series. So I have two books by Fabian Atanasio. I don't know why I decided to take Paradise. Simply I grabbed what was on my table because I had to pack very quickly. Well, next one is the one and only book by Selina Fenech, which I took with me. I wanted to take Australian animals. You know that I already mentioned it, that it really calmed me a lot during February when I colored animals in Australian animals, but I realized that when I color them, I require a lot of various pencils to do realistic fur or feathers. I required Derwent drawings, I require color softs, castle art, so I wasn't able to take all those sets with me, so Australian animals are waiting for me at home, but instead I decided to take fairy tales. It's another one of the books which I promised myself to finish this year, and if I do myself or other people promise, I tried to keep it. So fairy tales, despite all the problems with paper, usually I can color it with polychromos or with artisan, so I hope that slowly I will be adding finished pictures here also. And finally, I took two books simply because they are so sweet, so calm, a lot of family pictures, a lot of mothers with babies. And again, they it's books on the good paper. So I have cat coloring book which I hadn't started yet, and I have The Day We Finally Met, where I did one big page and couple of smaller projects, and I always felt guilty that such a beautiful book, such beautiful pictures, somehow I didn't color in it, even if I enjoy doing them. Pictures are not very easy because of them many details, but in the same time the art style is exactly what I love. So I think that maybe from such a bad thing that I had to abandon part of my books, it can be something good also, that books which I usually put aside, now I can pay more attention to them. Well, that's my new limited coloring book collection, but I feel very blessed that I managed to retrieve so many books. I hope with all my strength that all other books will be safe, and that my home will be safe, and that the war, when it will be ended, that everything will be back again. And regarding art supplies, I took with myself Prismacolor pencils, Polychromos pencils, Artisan and Sucolor, simply because they were conveniently packed in my uh, pencil cases, so it was quite easy simply to put them in the suitcase, so they didn't require time. But you may laugh at me, I not only forgot swatches. Swatches, it's convenient to have them, especially with 180 pencils in Sucolor or my not very frequently used Artisan, but I can manage without swatches. But I totally forgot to grab a pencil sharpener. When I realized it, I laughed at myself. But quite fortunately, in my shop here, I managed to find such a lovely thing. I was so happy to find and to purchase sharpener. I think that so happy last time I was when I purchased the full set of Prismacolor pencils. And it's even with my favorite German by German brand Kam, which I prefer for all my pencils. So now I'm well equipped and I can sharpen my pencil and to start coloring. Apart from four brands of pencils, I took watercolors. It's Ukrainian brand Rosa Gallery. I think that it will be quite enough for me. And I took one brush. I also think that it will be enough, because I decided to take them because in many books like Fragile World, like books by Hannah Carson, it will be much easier to color backgrounds with watercolor quicker, because now I have limited amount of times where I can color between all those sirens and many other tasks which we have now. And I decided that when I color with watercolors, I also can feel more relaxed to play a little bit with unusual blending of colors. So I decided that watercolors, they are also worth to take them with myself. Thank you. I hope that some of these books, they will be interesting for you, and I hope that I finally will do my first choice where I can start my colorings, and after I will upload all my old videos which I had on my laptop, I will be able to film new coloring videos and to color something. Thank you, and until the next videos.